So what would I do if I was applying for Walmart right now? Well, I'd probably want a job that got me near the ocean. It gave me a selection of scenery I want to see. It's that time of year. Got a lot of crab over here here in Crescent City. A lot of crabbing going on right now. See all the shells here on the beach. But as far as the question goes, well, yeah, I know exactly what I'd do if I was applying to drive for Walmart now, because I know what I know now, and I didn't know it back then. There's a lot of good reasons why I would pick this job over a lot of other jobs. And it's not for the reason you think it may be, because of the money. There is good money, but a lot of different benefits. But what would I do? What would I do if I didn't know anything about Walmart? Actually, no, I'll take that back. What if I knew what I know now? How would I apply for a Walmart? Well, I think the first thing I would do is I would get on their website and take a look and see what they have to say about the job. Of course, I'd be asking other people and everything, but pull this thing out of my pocket here. But, I would go to the website. And the website, which it's right here, driveforwalmart.com. And I would go and see what it is that they want from you to be able to even qualify for it. And it's very plain about it. It says what you'll need. They're bullet points: an interstate Class A commercial driver's license with hazmat endorsement, including cleared background check, or will obtain hazmat endorsement with cleared background check within 120 calendar days of date of hire. I don't know about you, but I would look at that and think, they're willing to wait months for me to get one of the qualifications I need. That's pretty cool. I don't know too many jobs that are that way. Most jobs are like, you need your hazmat or whatever it is, and you need it before you come apply. So, that's kind of a cool deal. A minimum of 30 months experience working a full-time Class A tractor trailer driving position in the previous 4 years. No more than 2 moving violations while operating a personal or commercial motor vehicle in the last 3 years. No serious traffic violations while operating a commercial motor vehicle in the last 3 years. No preventable accidents. Oop, gotta watch the sea here. It's coming up to my feet. No preventable accidents while operating a commercial motor vehicle in the last 3 years. No preventable DOT recordable accidents, collisions resulting in disabling damage and or immediate medical treatment away from the scene while operating a commercial motor vehicle in the last 10 years. And no preventable accidents resulting in a fatality or a catastrophic injury in your driving history, commercial motor vehicle. So, pretty good start there. Oh, look at that, yeah. Good portion of a crab here. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a whole bunch of them. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Gonna get my feet wet. I better get out of here. I think I'll stand up here. So, right off the top, you go to the website, and it's got some pretty specific stuff they need from you. So, yeah, I can see there might be some exceptions with that, but overall, it's pretty clear what they want for you to qualify to even apply. But then I would read on. Why be a Walmart driver, it tells me here. So it says benefits from day one. So I'm assuming first day I show up on the job, I better have these benefits. Earn PTO immediately up to 21 days in the first year, or in your first year. So PTO, these are days off that you earn. And I don't know about you all, but jobs I've had in the past, you only got like 1 week vacation if they offered it at a lot of these jobs. I know it's different nowadays, but it used to be, you had to wait a whole year to get that 1 week. And then you had to wait like 3, 4, 5 years, whatever, to get 2 weeks. and so on and so forth. But right out the gate, they're telling you you can earn up to 21 days of PTO in your first year. From what I know, a lot of the guys say they get about 25. That's pretty awesome. That means your full day's wage, and you can take the day off pretty much whenever you want, depending on how many people are off at that time. 401k, medical, and dental. Yeah, it's not a pension, but I'm okay with that. And that's just personal preference. I've already known multiple Walmart drivers through the years that they retired, and because of their 401k and the stock share program, um, they're all over $1.5 million in the bank. Not to mention, whatever they owned, their home or cars and these types of things. Not bad, and this isn't over like 30 years. Like one guy I know, he'd only been there like 12 years and he accomplished that. He worked at, you know, worked at his retirement with the 401k and how he invested and all that. I mean, there's details, but, I wouldn't throw it away. The 401k is bad right out the gate. Walmart does match 6%. I know that. Company paid life insurance and short-term disability. So it used to be it was only $250,000 on yourself. Then they changed it and made it $400,000 on yourself if you were at work or if you died. And then they added in your other family members for like $250 or something like that, and they offered $1 million to the driver. This last year, here a few months ago, I see now that all my family members can have $1 million per person. Yeah, it's not cheap, but it's cheaper depending on age. I'm 53, so it's like 70 some odd dollars per pay period. But I know just a year or two ago it was only like 50 something. But that's the way it goes. So then up to 4 paid safety days a year, which is your full day's wages, 4 days. I think I'd be pretty impressed with that. Reading on here, payment for everything. Now, I get a lot of questions from people, and they say, well, how much do you get a mile? And if I tell them, they go, well, how do you make, there's no way you can make as much money you're making by making that much a mile. And I have to remind them, well, we get paid for everything. And I got a lot of videos out, which I'll put a couple here up on the screen that tell you, like, basically what I'm getting paid every day. When I talk about getting paid for drop and hook, getting paid for sleeping in the truck, getting paid for miles by the hour, for whatever reasons, breakdown pay, a tenth of my ADP, which is by the hour whenever you do meetings and things like that. So, I mean, it's more complex than, I get this much a mile. It's a hard one to answer because there's that. And then the fact that as you're here, you get more and more over the years with your seniority. But out the gate, it's pretty darn good. Leading industry pay, activity, training, mileage pay from day one. So all that's day one. Quarterly safe driving bonus. So with that 4 safety days a year, that's quarterly. And you get a bonus. That again, that depends. It's not as straightforward. It's just this much. It's based based on how many miles you've driven, and you can't get in an accident and that kind of thing. But not a bad thing. And then $42 for DOT 10-hour break. So you go on your 10 hours each night, you get $42. Not bad considering I never had any other companies do that. I had other companies do that thing where it's like a per diem thing, and basically it's non-taxed money, or basically you're cutting your taxes down. They just flat out paying you $42, end of story. So it's a pretty good deal. Weekly home time, no split days off, consecutive days of work, variety of schedules available, and regionalized delivery and home every week. All true. You can't beat all the schedules they got. I don't know of any other companies that have as many schedules as we have. I mean, I'm sure there are some, but I just don't know of them. And you get home every week. on the day you're supposed to go home, not the next day. So pretty awesome. They tell you tools for the tools to succeed. New tractors are eligible for replacement at 525,000 miles. That's true. That's about right. Condo style sleepers accept day cabs. Fully equipped on site maintenance facilities staff daily qualified maintenance technicians. They're pretty darn good when something goes wrong with the truck. Immediately it goes in the shop. They generally fix it immediately. I mean, there's always exceptions, but overall, they do a good job. Broke down truck doesn't mean a lot to me nowadays compared to what it used to mean. And then they give you the information on how to reach them, which there's a number here, 1-888-596-2365, option 5, Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. And then they got driving jobs at Walmart.com, and that's wall-mart.com. So, I mean, you can always send email or call, probably get more info, but I would look at that. And then, of course, you could just fill out the application from right here. I would look at that and think, okay, they're claiming a lot of stuff here. So what I would do is if I didn't know a Walmart driver, there's tons of them around, at least everywhere I've been. I would stop one in the truck stop or wherever I see them and be like, hey, you got a minute? And I would just ask questions. Do they really do pay this? Do they really have all these PTO days? What's the catch? I would definitely do my homework on it. Filling the application out, I'd probably ask questions about that because there's a lot of details on whether you've had accidents and how many years experience and all that. I'd probably double check that with, Walmart drivers that I find. YouTube's got multiple people. I'm one of them. I've met multiple ones that are on YouTube that they legitimately are out here to help, and you can contact them or me or whatever and get more information. But overall, I mean, nowadays is a lot different than it used to be. So then the next question would be referral. It doesn't say anything about that on the website, but I guarantee you that a driver you talk to would probably bring it up. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it up now. A referral, it's been proven that if you put a referral in your application, that your application may get looked at before all the ones that don't have a referral. And so it's a little confusing, but it says, do you know, or how'd you hear about Walmart? Somebody said it wasn't on there, but I've seen it on there, but they could have changed it. I don't know, but it doesn't matter because put this information here in, if it's there. This is my driver number or the DC I'm out of, my name. And if you can't find a place on the application, then, when you talk to somebody, maybe send an email to that email address, tell them your application number and say, hey, I didn't see where to put a referral. Or, call them maybe and tell them, hey, I want to put this referral on there. Because it's not just to help me out. You want that on there before they call you, because they may not call you. And so it's in your best interest to try to get that on there. And if there's, only one position and a bunch of people applying, then you want to have a referral. And so anyway, everything I've been reading from is the website, driveforwalmart.com. And then here's my email. You can always ask me questions. Do you just want to talk about it? Whatever. Putting my email in there doesn't do anything. That doesn't count as a referral. It has to be the information this information here. I know it doesn't make much sense, but that's just the way it is. I think it even says put the email of the person in. I don't even know why they asked that. But so, that's what I would do. I would fill it out. I would try to talk to other Walmart drivers. I would read everything that's on the website. I would probably try to call that number and see if I can get a recruiter on the line. If I couldn't, then I would email them at that email and say, hey, I want to talk to a recruiter. And I would just back up everything I'm reading and everything I'm hearing. And, As far as that goes, then the next thing I would be looking at, and they don't really indicate it on the site or anything on that website, but if you watch us on YouTube, we all tell you, well, there's onboarding. It's tough. I just got an email the other day. The guy said he passed onboarding. I think he was in North Carolina. He said there was 10 of them. Only 4 of them passed. I hate to say that because it gets people stressed out about it. And the ones that aren't stressed out about it are probably the ones that failed. I mean, I don't know for sure. But it's not that they're trying to trick you or anything. It's just that, it's like when we went to go get our CDL. You had to go to a DMV to get your CDL. If you've gotten your CDL here in the last 20 years or whatever. And you had to show up. You had to do the backing test, the parallel parking, the driving test, the pre-trip. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, but Walmart has their way of doing it, and they call it the Walmart way. And when you go to onboarding, they're going to tell you what it is they want. They're just flat out going to tell you. And that's why I tell people, forget about everything you know. Yeah, I get it. You've been trucking for 25, 35 years. You know everything. If you want this job, just listen to what they say and do what they want. Because you're just trying to pass onboarding. You're not trying to reprogram your brain or, trying to start a new life or something. You're just trying to get a job at Walmart. So it's important. Oh my God, these guys are surfing out there. Oh, bird cold. It looks like they're having fun. Anyway, sorry, sidetrack. But so I mean, I would see that if I was applying for Walmart now, I would see that on YouTube where we've talked about it. I got hired before they did all that, so I try not to tell people, oh, well, you got to do this, you got to do that, because I kind of feel like, well, why am I telling people what to do in onboarding? I've never been to onboarding. I wouldn't want somebody that's never done something to tell me how to do it. So, I I've repeated different pointers I've heard. I've talked about um, I've talked about things that are an instant fail, like they call them criticals. I had a couple of people get on the video, and I'll put the video up where I talked about the onboarding and why people fail. I don't give a lot of info, but it got people in the comments to jump in there. And one guy in particular, he just laid it out. He big, long comment, just massive comment. And I appreciate that because he went through every single thing that's a critical, everything you should be paying attention to. I mean, he should have made a video, to be honest with you. But, so definitely read the comments and get in there and ask questions and things. Because as far as I can tell, his comments would have been, it's what you need to be able to pass onboarding. If you just read what he says, and if you got, even halfway decent skills, then you should be fine. And it's not something to worry or stress yourself about. And so that's what I would do. I would have been the guy looking through the comments. I'd have read that guy's comment 100 times, whatever it took for me to get it in my brain. And then, I would practice wherever I'm currently working at the time. We're assuming that if I'm applying for Walmart, I've already been driving, so I would have a truck to practice on and just start practicing. Just figuring, well, they're going to call me, I'm going to get an interview, and they're going to send me to onboarding. I don't want to be caught with my pants down. That's what I would do. That's what I did when I first got my license back in 2002. It was almost 2001. It was like January of 2002. That's what I did. I just, I just submersed myself in all the information, what they were going to test on at the DMV, and what was critical, and I passed with flying colors. But, I didn't stress about it. I just took that energy and put it into, well, be prepared. And, getting my CDL was really easy. The harder thing was actually having to work with companies that really don't care about what happens to you, and they just send you off to, oh, I don't know, New York City on your first trip. Yeah, that's what me and my partner got once we were done with our trainers back in the day. Yeah, I think I told that story in another video. If I find it, I'll put it on here. But yeah, that was a fun multiple trips around Kennedy Airport uh, at rush hour. I had a harder time with that than I ever did trying to get the job or trying to get my CDL or any of that, because there's no preparation for that when you have no opportunity. You know, some jobs may give you that, but some don't. So, once I get the job or I pass onboarding, then, you go with a mentor, and it's for 2 weeks, and they're not there to teach you how to drive or yell at you or nothing. They're there just to give you the pointers on, well, this is how we do it here. Just basically ride with you. A lot of the tablet work, the tablet, I think most trucking jobs have tablets now, where you got your logbook and how you get dispatch and put your ETD out. That's what they're mainly teaching you. And they're making sure you know the basics. But it's pretty hard to slip through if you don't know the basics. I think they would have caught you before that in onboarding. But I'd pay attention to them, and then I would just flat out do the best I could. I know in my experience with working here, the first year was hard, only because I had to go to all these stores that I'd never been to before. Didn't know one of them. And yeah, you can have instructions on how to get there, but then a lot of these stores, they got details on how you back into the dock, or what direction you come into the back lot there so you're lined up correctly. And after a year, it was a piece of cake at that point. What stores I hadn't been to after a year, which wasn't that many over here on the West Coast, I kind of figured, I knew how it basically went, so I was prepared. And so that's what I would do if I was going to apply for Walmart for a driving position, and I knew what I knew now, and I was applying now. That's what I would do. There's no magic to it. It's just simple. It's basically common sense and be prepared. I think some of the main reasons why people don't get a job here is because they got bad habits, or I've been driving forever and I know better. And I'm not going to speak for Walmart, but I don't think they want people like that. I think they want people that are going to be more like a team member that, are willing to listen, have an open mind, and willing to learn. It isn't life like that anyway. We think we got it all figured out. And generally what gets us screwed up in life is we say something like, hey, I got this. I don't need to listen to nobody. And you're basically saying, I already know. I don't need to learn anything. And I don't think any job or any employer really wants that person working for them, So that's what I got for you. Hopefully that helps you guys. And as usual, I will catch you next week.